So welcome into the latest edition of the GVT Football Review Show. I'm your host, God Victor Hans, and as always, it is a pleasure having you join me on this show. So it's about that time of the week where we reflect on the weekend's action as club football returned, and there was plenty of entertainment all throughout Europe, the Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, and Bundesliga, and we'll be taking a look at some of those games that made headlines as we speak this morning. So we'll start off with the Premier League, and we'll start off at the Amex Stadium where Brighton held Liverpool to a 1-1 draw, an important 1 point for Brighton, while for Liverpool yet another set of points drop. But the whole conversation is VAR once again. VAR has risen to the top of the conversation after Brighton scored late on from a penalty after a controversial decision that has had people talking left, right and center. Was it a penalty? Was it not a penalty? Where Robertson kind of came into collusion with Daniel Welbeck towards the end of the game, and there's just been lots of speculation about it. If you have not seen footage of that penalty incident, then I recommend that you go see it, and maybe it will give you an idea of what we're talking about and why most of the pundits, while most of the footballing world are talking about that decision yet again. And yes, I've heard lots of people talking about the incident, and in real time it did not look like a penalty, but when the referee went over to the VAR screen and looked at it in slow motion, then there was a case to be made that it was a penalty. And the question is, what is VAR actually there for? I mean, I was listening to Owen, and I was listening to I think the two Owens. I think that both of them are called Owen. After the game, and they were like they'd come up with this rule before the start of the season that VAR incidences would only show footage of real time and not slowed down time, and yet over the recent couple of weeks, most of the VAR decisions have been made after footage was slowed down, and it's led me to think that, if it was only about real time, then we really would not need video assistant referee. You just go look at the highlights, you just go look at replay of the footage and make your mind up. From my opinion, I think that yes, VAR has been brought in to just pay more attention to detail of the incidences that happen on the pitch, and that means you have to look at footage in slow down time. What they've been looking for is more accuracy in decision making, and if you have the opportunity to actually look at it and see what actually came out of an incident, then I think that is exactly what VAR is there for. So this argument over we should make decisions based on real time, where it should be decisions based on slow down time, I think I go with the latter. It has to be like if you look at the footage, and there is no way that incidences are going to slip up, or there's going to be a room for there's going to be room for fouls to be how can I put it? There's no room for fouls that are going to slip under the door of the referee's point of view, because now he can look at the screen and then slow down and see whether it was actually a foul or it was not a foul. And yes, you could say that it is making the beautiful game ugly, but in the first place, though, there used to be arguments, there used to be complaints of that should be a penalty, that should not be a penalty. But now, once we have the VAR, we're still having the same conversation. So do we want it? Do we not want it? But the fact of the matter is, VAR is here, and those decisions are going to be made in that sort of way. And I think for me, it was a penalty. Jurgen Klopp came out and was contradicting what his captain Jordan Henderson was saying, that it was not a penalty in his point of view. But he came out and said that the referee had a view at it second time from the VAR screen and decided it was a penalty. So it was a penalty. He blew the whistle. Maybe he didn't want no controversy, but I'd have to agree with him that it was a penalty. But on the day, Liverpool dropped their more points. They had 2 goals ruled out for offside from Mohamed Salah and Sadio Mane. But Brighton and Hove Albion will be pleased with the result. For Liverpool, we all know that they're in a race against they want to try and win the championship yet again. And this season, what we've already known is that if you don't take your chances, then they're definitely going to come. There's somebody who's always going to be aiming for that number one position, that most envious position at the Premier League this season. We know that it's a very open race to the Premier League title, so you have to make all games count. You have to win all your games. You have to get all 3 points. And this time around, he failed to get the 3 points. And yes, controversially at the end, but at the end of the day, it was 1-1. Both teams, Jurgen Klopp came out and said that he was pleased with their performance, whether that's yet again for the cameras and just not to create a scene and not create a story. But they now have to look forward towards the next game, and hope to bounce back from this and then get 3 points hopefully next time round. But for this time round, it was 1 point for them. Now that puts them level on points at the top of the table, second place with Tottenham Hotspur. And after that game, Manchester City were up next, where they defeated Burnley by 5-0. Now they become the first club to beat one team by four goals or more in 4 consecutive games. This was yet another masterclass performance from Manchester City. And the last time we talked about Manchester City, I was talking about how they were failing to convert the chances that they were creating recently over the recent couple of weeks. But this time round, they were attacking on all cylinders. Riyad Mahrez was exceptional, and we all know what a talent that he is. We all know what he has to offer. And when he was given the chance, on Saturday, he went out there and scored just yet his second hat trick of his career. And they were really wonderful goals to watch. I think it was the first goal, the second goal, whereby Kyle Walker reacted immediately to throw the ball into him, where he reacted and pounced on the ball. With his first touch, he left the defender for dead. Then with his second touch, created enough room for himself to carve the ball, which hit the post and then went inside for the goal. But on the day, it was a wonderful performance. Kevin De Bruyne, I also have to give him his credit. He looked like the Kevin De Bruyne of last season. This season has been it's like he stepped a gear down. But in that game, we could definitely see why we've been calling him one of the best player in the Premier League over the last couple of seasons, over the last season or so. And so if Manchester City can keep up these performances, if they can keep on creating the chances and then converting their chances, then there's a real case for them to go on and actually win the Premier League yet again this season. As I say, it is an open Premier League season, this one, and they're down in 10th position. But with teams slipping up, you never know where they could end up even before the end of the year. We're going into a December period whereby there are a number of games, and if you do the right things, if you put in the right performances and get the right results, then who knows where Pep Guardiola and Manchester City could be. But they have to keep this level of performance consistent if they want to have the chance of coming up yet again and then winning the Premier League. Southampton and Manchester United, that was one heck of a game where Manchester United came from 2 goals down after the first half to win 3-2, and that equaled a club record, and they've now won 8 consecutive away games under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it's a result that had all Manchester United fans off their seats and had them celebrating, and them just created more optimism around the club over the recent couple of weeks. As we've seen their recent performances, they've been putting in some good performances, and after halftime I actually thought to myself that, is this going to be one of those games where Manchester United were supposed to win those games, were supposed to win the game, but just ended up not turning up and losing by 2-0, or losing by a bigger margin, because Southampton did have plenty of chances to put the game to bed. But the difference maker, Edison Cavani, the summer recruitment in El Matador, we all know what this guy has done on the footballing stage. We all know that he for some time was regarded as one of the best strikers in world football, and yesterday he made that number 7 shirt his own, and he showed the Manchester United fans exactly why Manchester United went out and got him in the first place, and why he's on a short-term contract with all that money. He came on and proved to be the difference maker. He set up Bruno Fernandes for the first goal, getting 1 goal back, and then scored with an instinctive finish to put Manchester United on level terms before in stoppage time, Marcus Rashford putting the ball in a position where if you give Edison Cavani that much space and that much time, then he's definitely going to hurt you. In stoppage time, Marcus Rashford put in a wonderful ball, and he headed it in nicely, low, and driven header to put them 3-2 up and get them all the 3 points, which took them all the way up to 7th position, and they have 16 points. And of course, they do have a game in hand. But as I say, Edison Cavani came in, proved to be the game changer, and if he can put in these kind of performances, then I mean, Manchester United, I've always been saying, I mean, they have the squad, they have the potential to actually be one of the top teams to beat in the Premier League. I mean, you look at the squad, you have the likes of Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, who, in my opinion, right now is the best player in the Premier League. You have Donny van de Beek, who yet again put in one heck of a performance for Manchester United, and Manchester United have the potential to go on and then actually they could have the potential to go and actually vie for the Premier League title. Now, yes, they are still a couple of points behind the likes of Spurs and the likes of Liverpool, but Manchester United, if they put in the right performances just as much as the City, then they have the opportunity. This is an open Premier League season, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer right now looks to be enjoying himself. He looks to be making all the right decisions. And this is going to be an important victory for him, because he made changes after halftime when his team was 2-0 down, and those changes came in. Of course, David De Gea came out, and he's going to undergo a scan to check out whether he is going to be fit to play over the next couple of weeks or not, because he had gotten a knock on his knee after a James Ward free kick, which did go in, but he clashed with the goalpost during the process. And Dean Henderson came in, and Dean Henderson looks comfortable. Of course, he wasn't really tested that much, but he looks comfortable. And Edison Cavani, of course, as I say, came in. We all know he made the assist, scored 2 goals. And for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, this is going to give him confidence going forward, that he knows that he's been timid. There were moments whereby there was criticism going towards him that does he have that edge? Does he have that manager's mindset of changing things up, when things are not working? But now he's realizing that he has options at his disposal in the striking line. You look at the bench, when all players are fit, then most likely you have the likes of Paul Pogba, you have Anthony Martial, you have the likes of Edison Cavani, of course, as an option. He's realizing that he has options, and for a manager, once you make a change and then those changes go on and win you games just like the game against Southampton, then that will give you confidence going forward that, I have belief in myself. If I don't see something that's working out, then I am going to make a change. So this is good for Manchester United, it's good for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and for Manchester United fans. On the night, 3-2, you could say first half was kind of creaky with those 2 goals, but at the end of the day, they got all 3 points, and that's all that matters. Then of course we had that big game, Chelsea going up against Tottenham Hotspur, as many people had dubbed this an early title contender, but the goal ended in a goalless draw. The apprentice and the master cancelling each other out, and it was more of a tactical game than we expected it to be a tactical game. We expected Jose Mourinho to come out here and defend, and then of course try to hit on the counter. And the thing that surprised me the most is Frank Lampard also kind of had a similar tactic to this. I mean, we expected Chelsea to go out there and be knocking on the door, asking Tottenham questions, but they had a few chances on goal, and they were mostly defensive as well. It seems both teams knew or were aware of the attacking threat that either one of them had. We know that Chelsea are the leading top scorers in the Premier League this season. They have 22 goals, and then you have the likes of Son and Harry Kane all combined for a total of 27 goal contribution. So it seems both teams were kind of tentative and like, it is better that we do not concede, because if the other team concedes, then it's going to be hard for us to get back into the game. If Tottenham had scored a goal in that game, then we all know that Mourinho would have opted to just sit back and say, bring the game to me. I have the one goal, and I can defend this goal. Or if Chelsea had scored the goal, we know what Edouard Mendy has been this season ever since his arrival in London. Thiago Silva, Kurt Zouma, they've been a revelation ever since the early defensive war. So both managers seem to just shut the doors of the goals of their goals, and try to win the game in other areas of the field. But it was less than a scintillating game in my opinion, but it was definitely absorbing. If anything, if any team was going to get a goal out of it, I thought that it would have to be something inventive. It would have to be something creative to get a goal. But Jose Mourinho seemed happy with the point. Said that he's happy when his players are not happy, but he's at the top of the table, 21 points, 11 points with Liverpool, and Chelsea is still in third position. So I'm sure both managers went home happy with a point. Arsenal lost by 2-1 at the hands of Wolves. Raul Jimenez did go out of that game injured, and reports are coming out that he did fracture a skull and he is currently starting his recovery in hospital. We wish him a quick recovery. But for Arsenal, from Arsenal's point of view, it's another disappointing performance, and for the first time in 39 years, this is their lowest points tally after 10 games. They have only 13 points and are down in 14th position. And Mikel Arteta has to sort things out quickly, because this is not a side that the Arsenal fans want to see. No, he doesn't want to see. The players don't want to see, and of course the fans don't want to see. So the board does not want to see. So Mikel Arteta has a lot of work to be done. They were poor yet again yesterday. On the attacking front, it seems like there was just no creativity. And once they did get the chances, Aubameyang has scored only 2 goals this season. He was firing blanks, and Roy Keane had a cheeky comment post game and said that he thinks Arsenal have just enough to stay up in the division. It's like he's almost hinting that Arsenal may find themselves in a position this season whereby, well, they could be struggling to stay up, but that's a long shot. But if things keep on going the way they've been going, then it's going to be hard, and they have a trip up against Tottenham next. So Mikel Arteta has to do his homework. He has to change things up quickly. He has to find that creative spark within this Arsenal team, and he needs to start getting the results. Otherwise, it could be a joke, from Roy Keane, but who knows? Who knows? This season is definitely unpredictable. From Wolves' point of view, they're into the top 6. Besides that nasty incident of the game to Raul Jimenez, they put in a wonderful performance, and at the end of the day, they deserve all the 3 points. Now, in La Liga, Valencia lost 1-0 to Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid continuing their hot run of form. Sevilla winning by 1-0 against Huesca. Then, of course, FC Barcelona. All eyes were going to be on Barcelona and were going to be on Lionel Messi. They went out firing on all cylinders, winning by 4-0. Griezmann, Braithwaite, Coutinho on the score sheet, and of course Lionel Messi. It was fitting that the Argentine had to score, and he paid a wonderful, beautiful, stunning tribute to the late Diego Armando Maradona. He donned a Newell's Old Boys shirt underneath the Barcelona jersey, and after he scored, he took it up, pointed to the sky, looked up to the sky in a wonderful image that, well, you can have a look for yourself. It was fitting. It was fitting at the end of the day, and they got all the 4 goals, 3 points, and for Ronald Koeman, well, exactly what he would have dreamt of after setting qualification to the knockout stages of the round of 16 of the season. During midweek, then Real Sociedad and Villarreal played out a 1-1 draw. In the Serie A, Sassuolo lost 3-0 against Inter Milan. Benevento holding Juventus to a 1-1 draw without their main man. Juventus, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo was rested after playing quite a few games after returning from COVID-19. Andrea Pirlo decided to give him a rest, and well, there'll be questions and people will be wondering why didn't he get a chance to play, because it seemed that they needed Cristiano Ronaldo, and it's another drop points for the Bianconeri, for the reigning champion. So he's gonna have a tough task ahead of him, trying to catch up with the likes of AC Milan, who did win against Fiorentina by 2-1. But it was all about Napoli, the club where Diego Maradona established his greatness, a club where he came to and helped them win 2 Scudettos and of course a European Cup. And it was a sad day, and they had to come out here and gain something, just celebrate a life of one of the greatest players ever to don the field. And Gattuso and his men did exactly that, winning by 4-0. It was fitting. It was absolutely fitting. Insigne scored a goal and then dedicated his goal to Diego Maradona. Went up, held the Maradona number 10 jersey, and he will be missed. He will be missed. But for Napoli, four goals, 3 points and a fitting way to celebrate the life of one of the greatest. In the Bundesliga, Borussia Dortmund lost to Cologne by 2-1, while RB Leipzig won by 2-1 against Armenia. FC Bayern Munich yet again on the winning side of things, defeating Stuttgart by 3-1, and Borussia Mönchengladbach, who just can't help themselves, are teaching Schalke a textbook lesson on counter-attacking efficiency, winning by 4-1. And so that was last weekend. It was thoroughly entertaining, thoroughly enthralling, and of course we have 2 more games of the Premier League coming up today. We have West Ham United taking on Aston Villa, Leicester City taking on Fulham, and then of course we do have UEFA Champions League action coming up this week, so stay tuned. There is plenty more football coming to your television screens, and well, I'll be right here with you, taking you through the previews and reviews of the European games. For now, thank you for tuning in. I've been your host, Victor Hines, and see you guys all next time.